Hi, I'm Jay Goldman, and you are watching Status Update on Butterscotch.com. And we're going to take a look at some blogging-related stuff today. Not really blogging itself. I mean, it's become really mainstream over the last 10 years. The term was coined way back in 1997, turned into a verb blog by Ev Williams at Pyra Labs in 1999. You may have actually heard of Pyra. They had a product called Blogger, which was ultimately bought by Google, and of course, Ev went on to co-found another little social media startup you may have heard of called Twitter. So this is all ancient history for the internet. We're not going to talk about what blogging is, but today we're going to talk about some basics of getting started in blogging. If it's something that you're thinking about doing and you're looking for a platform to do it on, you got a couple of choices that are out there. There's a whole bunch of ones that are free. And for a lot of reasons, some of them quite technical, some of them having to do with things like the capability of getting your data back out when you've put it in. So let's say you build up a long history of blogging and you want to get that back out. We're not big fans of Blogger. It's sort of old school at this point. Google hasn't done a huge job of maintaining it. We're also not big fans of the 6apart line of products, which includes TypePad, Movable Type, and Vox.com for the same reason. They're good apps in their own right. They've got some good features in there. But it's a really big pain to get your content out later on if you want to. And so you're kind of tied to it once you start using it. There's also not as much of a support or community in place for it. So we're going to take a look at WordPress today, which is by far my blogging platform of choice, and any blogging platform or project that I'm involved in is almost definitely built on top of WordPress. So it's really kind of the granddaddy of the blog world. It was first introduced way back in 2003 by Matt Mullenweg. Matt still heads up the project. It's in fact a very well-funded and very successful startup in its own right these days. And as of September 2009, WordPress powered about 202 million websites worldwide. That's right, it was 202 million websites. So you're in good company if you decide to base your project on WordPress. There are literally thousands of themes for your website that you can choose to put on it to affect how it looks and feels. There's also thousands of plugins available that extend WordPress, most of which you require no programming knowledge to use. So it's just a question of dropping them in place, turning them on, and then taking advantage of whatever capability they've added to your install. Likewise, there's a huge community of WordPress developers out there who are available to do customizations and to build sites. So if you find that you're doing a really popular job blogging, you're building up a real big presence, and you'd really like to have your own sort of look and feel to it, there's a whole bunch of companies out there who do a great job of doing themes and custom designs specifically for WordPress. So you're in good hands if you go this route. You've got two options when you're looking at WordPress. WordPress.org is the open source version of WordPress that you can download and install on your own server. Open source means that all of the source is available, and so if you're the programming type and you know your PHP, you'd like to contribute to the project, they're always looking for people to contribute code to it. You don't have to worry about that. You don't really need to be a programmer to run WordPress at all, but if you're looking for a version you can run on your own server, you want to go to WordPress.org and download it from there. WordPress.com is a great hosted WordPress site, so we're looking at WordPress.com on the screen right now, and this is where you can actually get your own hosting of a basic WordPress blog entirely for free. So go to WordPress.com, hit the sign up now button, fill in a form, and you're up and running, you've got your blog, you're good to go. The basic feature set there will cover almost everything that you want to do. There are a couple of reasons that you want to buy one of their premium features that are available, and you can just buy them directly from on WordPress.com. So for example, you're looking like you want your own domain name for your website. So for example, if we had a blog called Status Update, we might want to be statusupdate.com instead of a subdomain of statusupdate.wordpress.com. That would be one premium feature that we might want to upgrade for. You can also upgrade to get extra storage, so you're going to do a lot of images, videos, music, that kind of thing. You want to be able to do some custom CSS design or have somebody do custom CSS design for you. And if you want to use VideoPress, which is their platform for publishing your own videos rather than embedding videos, say, from YouTube or Vimeo or something along those lines, those are all the premium features you pay a little bit of extra for running those things. One important note to remember for WordPress.com, it doesn't allow for entirely custom themes or plugins. So if you want to take advantage of any of the extensible functionality that's available in WordPress as a platform, you're going to have to host it on your own. On the WordPress.org website, they list a bunch of recommended WordPress hosts, so you can go on there and find one who will host it for you. In a lot of cases, they've got a one-click install for WordPress when you set up your hosting account with them. So the same way you would buy a hosting account from anybody else, just turn on WordPress and you're good to go. You'll have your blog there, and you'll be able to do all the custom themes and plugins and everything that you want. There are official WordPress applications for iPhone, BlackBerry, and Android, so you can do all of your blogging on the go. They allow you to post content and review comments and all that kind of stuff, so you can administer your entire blog from your smartphone device. Just a note or maybe a caution on those. I found that the iPhone version is a little bit flaky from time to time, so you want to make sure that you're not doing any like crazy long blog posts you'll never be able to recreate just in case something happens to them. Later versions of it have actually got quite a lot better. It was much flakier at the beginning, so I would definitely say just keep that in mind, but go into there and use it. Check back with us in an upcoming episode. We're going to talk about some blogging platforms that are really good at doing much shorter form blogging. If you really just want to share things you found online, media, that kind of stuff, definitely come back and check out a future episode of Status Update when we'll be talking about some in-between blogging platforms, somewhere from micro to macro, somewhere right in the middle. Before you go, this is the 25th anniversary of the .com this year, which makes me feel really old. And if you would like to tell us how you do .com, you can enter on howdoyou.com. And you've got a chance to win one of 10 iPads or up to $10,000 in cash. All you got to do is go to that website. Again, it's howdoyou.com. And submit an essay or video about how you've used .com or any remembrance that you've got about .com for a chance to win one of those great things. I have a really strong feeling about WordPress.com, actually. It was one of the first times that I really understood the freemium business model. And it's sort of a really cool thing because WordPress.org is an open source project. And there are lots of open source projects out there. Some of them very famous, like Firefox, for example, or Linux. Some of them not well known at all. There's 2 or 3 guys hacking away on something. But WordPress.org is sort of one of those in-between open source projects that's been really, really successful. 200 million websites hosted, but they've managed to find a great business model that they run on it. And it's not just a business model like a lot of open source companies where they say, .org is free, .com is pay. .com is also free. It's only when you get into the premium features that you have to start paying. Now, they have a lot of people who use those premium features, and that means that they can actually make a really good living off of it. And I really like the way that they've distinguished between WordPress.org for the open source community stuff and WordPress.com for the commercial with the freemium business model on it. It was one of the first times I ever really had a light bulb go off and say, wow, I get how this business model works. So a little remembrance tied back to the blogging thing. Remember to go to howdoyou.com for a chance to win an iPad or cash up to $10,000. I'm Jay Goldman. This has been Status Update on butterscotch.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.